Welcome back to AI Business TV here in New York. I'm Ben Wodecki, and I'm really pleased to be joined by Moshe from NeuReality. How's it going?
Going well. Very good venue. Happy to be here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to have you on the show. So, you guys are doing a lot in kind of the infrastructure, AI infrastructure space, and you're taking a little bit of a different approach. Can you talk me through kind of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we're actually putting AI in the center. The way servers are built today is the CPU is in the center, and you add AI accelerators to it to improve the performance of deep learning processing. When you're going to inference and you have servers serving a lot of users, a lot of virtual machines or containers in a data center, the CPU becomes the bottleneck. So you end up paying top dollars on your CPU-centric approach, but you're underutilizing your deep learning processors. What we do, we change that, and we do an AI-centric approach in which each deep learning accelerator is connected to the network through one of our chips. And with 3 layers of software that we invested in, we simplified the way to deploy AI use cases to this tough programming hardware.
So on that, you're talking about the deployment side of things. What are the challenges that are facing the businesses that would go on and use such systems?
I think the main two today are the complexity and the cost. When I talk about cost, I talk about the cost of ownership of the hardware, but also the operational expense, the power consumption that these servers consume. In terms of complexity, when you look on companies like Meta or Amazon or Alibaba in China, they have huge R&D resource, and they can deal with development of models, deploying of models, management, DevOps. But for smaller companies, mid-sized companies, they don't have the R&D resource to do that, they don't have the expertise, and they don't have the funds to pay for this expensive hardware. So the main challenges are the way the systems are built today. They're mainly built for training models. So we're looking on supercomputers, very expensive, and we need to find a way to lower the cost and lower the power consumption of inference. Inference is where you use deep learning models for real life applications.
Especially as some of the models that they're going to be using that are open source require a lot higher intensity of inferencing today to actually get them to work effectively, right?
Yeah.
So you were here today, and one sector that you're looking at particularly, you gave a speech on it, was finance. Talk to us a little bit about kind of what you spoke about in, what are the target uses for those in the finance sector?
Yeah, so actually, I didn't come here alone. Today, Mukesh Kar from IBM joined me on stage, and we actually shared the co-development we're doing together for the financial services. And today you see new models developed for fraud detection, for customer service, for transactional. So a lot of deep learning development is done for the financial service. But when you look on the cost of deploying all them in large call centers, it's still very, very high, and the complexity is also there. So we showed how the combination of the deep learning acceleration technology from IBM, together with our NAPU, the network addressable processing unit that we developed, how they coexist, and how we build new type of AI-centric servers together, and simplify the access to these servers together.
And that's a big name to be working with, right? How important is it that you've got someone like IBM working alongside you on this?
Yeah, it's very important. Having an end customer and a system company like IBM work with you even before the product is shipped. Make sure that the product is designed correctly. We can run the use case already on emulation and simulations before we tape out our chip. So we're focusing on language processing, computer vision with them, and we can fine-tune all these use cases even before the product is ready. And next year, 2023, we're going to start shipping it with IBM and with some other companies like through Lenovo and Supermicro on the OEM side, and some companies that I can't share their names yet.
That's okay. No, it's going to be an exciting time ahead. I mean, we're only a few months away from 2023. But you have a lot of rich partnerships across industry. Are there anyone else aside from IBM that you are allowed to talk about that you guys work alongside and and enjoy working with?
Yeah, we're exploring several directions of compute solutions and computational storage solutions. Recently, it was announced that our Series A was led by Samsung Ventures. So you can do the math and understand what we're working on with Samsung that kind of lead the storage in the world. And with AMD we teamed up a year and a half ago. We built our first prototype based on FPGAs. Actually, it's a monolithic solution. Inside every FPGA in our chassis, there's the deep learning processor from AMD connected to our AI hypervisor and our network engine, embedded network engine, and it already shows 2 to 3x better inference per dollar compared to any technology out there. So I think both AMD and Samsung relationship will allow us to take it a step forward to many sectors and many use cases.
I mean, those are some big names in chips, right? It doesn't get much bigger than AMD and Samsung and others. And you talked about your funding. I was going to come on to that because that's quite a significant raise. What do you plan on using that funding for? Is it for funding the chip production? What are you kind of using it for?
Yeah, exactly that. The idea is to complete the chip development. We're going to tape out end of Q1 next year. And we're going to take the product to market for the first time in the second half of next year. And there are plenty of customers waiting for it, including IBM and some system integrator we're working with to deploy AI inference server in the financial data centers, mainly for call centers using language processing, automatic speech recognition. This is where scale is important. And the cost today is introducing a high barrier for many of these financial institutions.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a really good use case, and I think tying it in with those finance companies is a sensible way of doing it. Is there anything else that we can expect to hear from the team at NeuReality in 2023, or are we super focused on getting those chips out and into the customer hands?
We're laser beam focused on the chip development. It's a 7 nanometer technology. It's a complex chip, and it also needs to coexist and interoperate with any deep learning accelerator out there. It can connect to a GPU, it can connect to an ASIC or an FPGA. So there's a lot of system flows and fine-tuning that we have to complete before we tape out, so when the chip comes back, it really delivers on its promise.
Well, I'd love to see it in action. Let's wait until next year and find out. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Ben.